Hey guys, it's Jake here with eTrailer. Today we're going to talk to you about boondocking. We're going to talk about what it is, where you might want to do it, if it's something that even is going to be for you. We're going to go over some of those things today to talk about what it might take to go boondocking. Now right off the bat, you might be wondering, what is boondocking? Well, boondocking is camping without the resources that you normally get at a campsite. And those resources are water, sewer, and electric. When you're boondocking, usually you're out in the open. You might be at a family farm or a piece of property, or just staying at somebody's house. But essentially, it's going to be camping outside of an RV park or a campground. Another commonly asked question we get is boondocking legal? Well, that's going to depend on where you decide to boondock. If you're boondocking in a place that you may find on a website that says boondocking is allowed because there are primitive spots, that's another term that you might see. It just means it has no water, sewer, or electric. Those spots are perfectly legal. There's also other websites that you can use to easily find boondocking locations. Those are going to be breweries, wineries, farms, any place that usually has a lot of acreage. That's one of the benefits of boondocking, is that people want to stay out in nature and be able to have a much more beautiful and natural scene rather than a campground. Now, you might have also heard of moochdocking. Moochdocking is more so staying in a, let's say, a family or a friend's driveway where you're connecting to their water and their electric. You can also do this in Walmart or in various churches, but you just want to be sure, no matter how you're going to do it, you want to make sure it's legal. And if you have to purchase any permits, you want to make sure you get those too, so that you know where you're staying is legal and safe. The length of time that you can boondock is going to be primarily based off of how long your resources are going to last. We're talking about propane, your water tank, your freshwater tank. By using water, you're going to be filling up your gray and your black water. A lot of the times, what will cause people to have to pull out of their boondocking site is because their gray or their black water tank has filled and they need to go empty it. Now, there's a couple of different things that you can do with that. There are dollies that you can get that you can empty those tanks and then take them into town, dump them, and then you don't have to worry about tearing down your whole rig. Obviously, with propane and with water, you can get auxiliary water jugs, and you can also take your propane tanks into town and fill them up. It's the black and the gray water tanks that are the primary deciding factors of why you would have to go into town. Another thing is that you have to keep in mind how long you're even allowed to stay at a certain place. Many places will have a 2-week maximum stay. That's solely because they want to be able to get other people in to just have the same cool spot that you have at the campsite. So that's kind of how they get you to move along to a different site. A few things that you might need while you're boondocking: a solar panel if you find yourself using a lot of electricity and you want to recharge your batteries. Along with that, you may need to up your number of batteries or upgrade your batteries that are in your camper or your RV. If you find yourself using a lot of electricity, the only way to figure that out is to just go out and do it once, and you'll know how much battery power that you've used and how much you actually need. Some more things are water jugs, as we mentioned earlier. These are nice to be able to just run into town, fill up some water, and then bring it back. They're also nice to be able to pre-fill them and then just refill the freshwater tank on your camper as you start using water. You might want to bring a generator depending on where you're going. A lot of people don't like the noise, but if you don't mind it, it is a very, very consistent power source, and all you'll have to bring is a little bit of fuel with you. Another thing for the inside of the camper is you might want to bring a fan or a heater if you decide that you don't want to turn the furnace on, or you don't want to run the AC, or you don't have enough power to run the AC. So a fan or a heater is going to maybe get you through those nights out when you're boondocking. And the last thing is going to be a Wi-Fi router and LEDs. The Wi-Fi router is going to be if you want to work while you're boondocking, that's when the Wi-Fi would come in handy. And the LEDs is just to conserve power. Well guys, hopefully I was able to clear up some of the questions you might have had about boondocking, and maybe you'll figure out whether or not it's for you and give it a try. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments below, and we'll see you next time.